Hi. Did you dance earlier? It was really funky music. So, good afternoon. Selamat sore. Welcome to Minikino Film Week in talks, the second talk session at Minikino Film Week. And this afternoon, we are here with Asako Fujioka that is doing this live talks from Hijiori, Japan. Let's say hello.
Hello.
And I'm here with no audience at the physical festival, but I hope the more people actually watching this online. I'm here with the crew. There are like 4 of us, actually 5. And we have 2 remotely sign language interpreter, which is now on screen Ranum Dara. She's in Balikpapan, Borneo. And Tia, that will join us half an hour from now. They will take turn in interpreting the session. Tia will be live from Denpasar. So thank you very much. We're gonna be here for 90 minutes to 120 minutes. That's up to you basically. If you have a lot of questions, we're gonna do it longer. So in this session, it will be a sneak preview of our very exciting collaboration from Minikino. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Chika. I'm the host. I'm also the program director of Minikino and Minikino Film Week. I'm so excited because Asako and I, these 2 organizations, have been in touch since actually last year and more
Last year.
intense in February, right? About this collaboration. And in this special time, in this really challenging period, we're still going to announce as well. It's actually a sneak preview of Minikino Artist Residency in Bali and Yamagata Documentary Dojo. We will be pairing up for the first time partnership to send filmmakers to each other's residency programs. And in this session, this will be a very good opportunity to actually recognize what is this? Why are we breathing the same air? So, without further ado, let's just invite Asako Fujioka, which I should have read her short bio first.
That's all right.
So, Asako Fujioka is a board member of the Yamagata International Documentary Film Festival and Independent Cinema Guild Japan. She's a member of Executive Committee for Tokyo Docs. She has been organizing workshop retreats for documentary filmmakers since 2009. So that's 11 years now. Here, this year in 2020, she was invited to the documentary branch of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science and is currently producing a documentary about Japanese street dancers. So in this session, we can talk and ask Asako about this artist in residency program, and also maybe we get lucky to hear more about her future projects. So Asako, your turn.
All right. Okay, Chika, do you hear me? We are many thousands of miles away from each other, but we are breathing the same air, aren't we?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Because the air is connected in
The
many ways,
dangerous
right?
one. That's why we are wearing this shield.
Yes. Yeah, what a pity that 2020 is turning out to be like this, really testing the work that I have been doing in my past career. Maybe for 30 years, I've been working with documentary and especially Asian documentary. I have had a very strong connection with because so the Yamagata International Documentary Film Festival is an international festival that started 30 years ago in the northern city, a small city in the north of Japan called Yamagata. And we have been showcasing and trying to promote and support independent creative documentary from the world, but especially from Asia. And I have had really the honor and the privilege to be able to watch how Asian documentary has grown since when we started the festival in 1989 to today. And at one point I was the director of the festival. Now I have switched hats and I'm more interested in incubation and growing and supporting filmmakers in their journey to make great films. Um, yeah. So, Chika, am I supposed to introduce the dojo here? I guess
Yeah, I'm
that's
sure
the point.
a lot of people actually already start to get curious. How
Mm-hmm.
do you switch from showing exhibition and then
Mm-hmm.
from there to incubation and doing
Mm-hmm.
this dojo? Sure,
Mm-hmm.
let's watch
Yeah.
together.
No, but actually, the Venice Film Festival just started last week, and you remember that in this COVID era, so they had this huge press conference and stage performance of the big European festival heads coming together and trying to give a voice to cinema despite COVID, and to come for people to gather together to watch, film cinema on the big screen in a dark room and in a way that you cannot focus. For example, if you're watching at home in a on a small screen or separated from each other, like in your own cubicles or your own homes. So, like the festival experience was really highlighted in this demonstration at Venice Film Festival. Um, and in their announcement, they said something that really resonated with me. They said that the film festival role is really diversifying and changing. And now festivals are not just showing films, but they're also distributing films. They're also uh, incubating people. They're bringing filmmakers together for co-production, matching. They're trying to help people to sell and buy films. They're like setting up, online distribution networks themselves. And they're also including cinema in, education, for children, so that our next generation of cinema viewers will, grow up enjoying, the great films, that we continue to churn out in our creative, societies. So I was thinking that like Minikino and Yamagata, we are also doing the same thing. Uh, Minikino is doing so many activities, not just the film festival, but you have, programs with children, with young people. You are going out to promote, Indonesian films to the world, and Yamagata also. So in a way, because I have my limited capacities, I'm not able to do the festival work, and so many things at the same time. So I'm not programming for the festival anymore, and I've switched um, to running this residency. Yeah, but the idea is really at the core that everything is connected. If we want to support, creative documentary, or in your case, short film, um, it's the role of a festival, or a role of kind of a cinema center, or people like us, to try to make sure that, we cannot just grow one part. We have to grow the whole industry, the whole world. Yeah. So that's how I thought up of this idea. Yamagata is a really beautiful place, full of nature. It's lots of mountains, rivers, and the air is so great. Uh, Even with COVID, the wind, and it's such a peaceful place that when I come here from Tokyo, I immediately feel relaxed, and I feel like there's a stability here, a safe place for me to think about things that I've been too busy to think about, when I'm in my city life. And it's a pity for filmmakers to come to just 1 week of the film festival and, rush, watch the films, like have Q&A sessions, do some interviews, and go back home. I thought I would like many of them to stay longer in this place to really enjoy the culture, the nature, the great food, that's here. And just the sense of community that will help you, recover something that you might have lost in your, busy everyday life. Do you mind if I go on like this, Chika? Am I
No,
talking
I
too
mean,
much?
of course, because I
Yeah.
totally agree with you.
Uh-huh.
Before we show the video,
Uh-huh.
it is
Uh-huh.
also very important to emphasize that the role of festival is to put contribution on the whole ecosystem, and education
Mm.
is a huge chunk of it, and supporting the industry, including the filmmakers and even the students. That's very important. Yeah, the future. No, please do go ahead. That's why we invite you for this session.
Okay. Yeah. So, but overall, I mean, in the past 30 years, I've been really amazed that so many great film festivals have sprouted out in all the cities of the Asian cities that are doing great programming and showing films in growing audiences. Um, and there's also a lot of pitching forums, and places for industry people to come together and finance these voices coming from Asian, young emerging filmmakers have many opportunities now to kind of find their way um, financially and also like creatively, which is very unlike what was happening at like 25 years ago or 30 years ago. It was quite very much a desert. Everything was in the West, in the Western countries, nothing here. But at the same time, in the recent years, as I watch films, I often think, oh, what a pity that, this filmmaker has been filming footage and material for such a long time, and there's an immense, it's a treasure trove of materials, visual material that these filmmaker has probably gathered, but somehow it doesn't have focus. The finished film doesn't seem to be complete, and yet the film is being, premiered in festivals, or I mean, it's considered, finished, and then it goes on its circuit. And
Asako, speak
uh-huh.
slowly a
Oh,
bit.
right. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, and I was thinking that it could be that there are many opportunities, but that means that there are also, deadlines and, I don't know, you're as a filmmaker, you feel that you need to answer to the request of a foreign financer, or maybe you have a mentor who tells you that this is the way to do it, and you feel that your footage should go this way, or I don't know, in the first 10 minutes you have to have some eye-catching trap to catch the audience. I mean, people in the industry, like for example, in the Western distribution network or television scene, have a lot of ideas of what a film should be. And I feel that many filmmakers are being rushed into a conclusion that they're too early, before they can find the road that they were looking for. And that's why I thought that 4 weeks in the mountains of Yamagata in a hot spring spa, together with an editor or together with a producer, a partner who you can trust and spend time with, that can assist you to rediscover the original point of your, why you started to make this documentary. Yeah. So I would like to maybe show you a 6-minute video that we made after the 2018 Dojo, the Yamagata Documentary Dojo. And I chose this video because we have some great Indonesian documentary filmmakers and editors appearing in it. So can I ask you to roll the video, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
このアーティスト・イン・レジデンスは実はアジアで初めてドキュメンタリー映画に特化したものなんです。山形ドキュメンタリー道場っていうのはアジアの映像作家を東北の山形市にお招きして長期滞在をしながら彼らが作っているドキュメンタリーの仕上げに向かっていただく、集中した時間を持ってもらう、 そういうアーティストインレジデンシーなんです。
And also we in here it's a beautiful place and every day change like I mean like from the red the leaves change the scenery change even we got snow and far away from home is make us every day do contemplation about our life our dreams or our works.
This residency is like expensive experience. I came here as a producer. This workshop is like makes me think again about how being a good producer for the director and also for the team.
We almost finished our movie in here, and it's the big part, the important thing in here. The people is nice, and the weather, the air is very fresh to thinking, to get more intense with our project, and the discussion. We can get more great discussion. Sometimes we
fight,
we help to each other. That never happened when we in Indonesia. It's happened now. It's happening in here.
and we fight in here, in this room.
As for the Yamagata people, I feel very welcome. We work close together, we live together, we eat together, we were chatting all along, and it's very friendly.
We went to Yamadera, and also we have workshops, and also we went to the lake around here, and I have chance to go the hot spring bath in between. I think it's a big step for my career as a creating artist.
I think it's kind of go back to your initial point. Is don't think too much about the outside world, so just go back to your very indie heart and why you want to make this film, what is move you around.
こういうその道場みたいな形でドキュメンタリー映画のクリエイターの人たちがいろんなこう立場から集まるってことはあんまりない、特に日本ではないし、そういう意味では豊かな、ね、ドキュメンタリー映画の文化が生まれるんじゃないかなと期待しています。
I think talking and exchanging is very inspiring in a place that's maybe a little bit isolated from like city life and so on. It's beneficial.
やっぱり都会でやるのとは全然やっぱり環境が違いますので、やっぱりこういう自然の中で心が多分解放されるっていうか、じっくりものを考えるとか自分を見つめる、自分の先を見つめる機会としてはすごくいいと思います。
Filmmakers at various stages of their work coming together and discussing, communicating, spending time with each other, and especially nowadays when filmmakers don't meet each other. And documentary dojo is a very interesting idea.
そうね、やっぱりね、山形っていうのはもう特に、ドキュメンタリーの世界ではなんていうのかな、一つのブランドになってるんですよ。一番印象に残ったのはすごい多様性っていうことで、そのドキュメンタリーっていうふうに一口に言ってもいろんなアプローチ、いろんなやり方があるわけですよね。特に若い世代の感性っていうのは新しいなと思うね、やっぱりね。ドキュメンタリーって言っても本当に様々だなって。で、それは面白いなって思いますね。
ユネスコ創造都市ネットワークに加盟したっていうことは世界遺産とかと違ってゴール的な意味合いよりも これからがスタートだっていう意味合いが大きいと思うんですね。
これからの多分創造都市としての役割っていうのは上映するだけではなくて育むなんか新しいドキュメンタリーの未来を作っていくような場所になっていく可能性があるんじゃないかと思うんですね。
Wow, that's Henny.
Yay.
She's an Indonesian filmmaker. One of the, I think, the leading one in documentary scene here.
Yes, it's Henny, and Diane is the producer, and
Yeah.
Greg Arya is the editor who won the editing prize in an Indonesian Cinema Academy Awards, I guess. It's Film Awards last year. Yeah, he's quite a famous editor who stayed in our dojo for 4 weeks last year.
Oh, so how far back? I mean, you have a lot of education program, but the dojo itself, how long has it been?
So this dojo format, based on the idea that filmmakers who have a project come to kind of spend time and focus on their project. This artist in residency began in 2018. So this is only our third year. Yeah, and I have had organized a series of workshops, international collaboration workshops called Dojo over the past 10 years or so, but they have been off and on and in various places, like we went to Thailand, we went to China, and I had been kind of wrestling and experimenting with what is it that, for the local and the international to come together to create a creative, hub, a location where, the juices can start flowing, and also, give back, return, repay that, to the local, community who is housing, them. This idea so culminated in what I have been doing for the past 3 years. This is a Yamagata documentary dojo. I know it's not, it's actually going against the tide of things. I think people are in a hurry now. They really want to finish their films fast so that they can make a film a year, or they can meet the perfect mentor or meet the perfect partner so that they can go ahead with the project that they have and finish it. And my dojo is actually kind of going against the grain of the flow of things. It forces people to stop and hold still for a while. So I think it's not for everybody. For example, if you have a family and you need to be at home, it's hard for you to take time away or from your job to come and spend so much time, away from your community and your family. And it's also not a place for people who do want to make fast results, who wants to reach the next step as fast as possible, like very young people, I think. But if there's a certain match, there's only a few slots that I can accommodate and cover for the, financially. And so if I can find the perfect people who would really enjoy and benefit from this day, and there can be a very happy and lucky, matching, I think that'll be worth it.
So how you run the concept of this dojo is, I agree with you, it's really opposite the trend where usually in the festivals they do this short film market, and then they do some sort of speed date, like try to meet as many people as possible and try to get the chemistry. But it's really difficult, especially for documentary projects, where you really need to, I believe, really work and have a strong team And like you say, and like the filmmaker that say in the video, it's like going back to the starting point where you question why do you even spend your time in this project. Now, because this is something like your baby, like like Yamagata documentary film festival baby. How do you see it grow? Like from 2018, I'm sure you do a uh, really, what do you say, like really good selected filmmakers that involve. Will you like tell us more? How many people from which country and where are they now, like their projects in 2020?
Mm. Yeah. So the format, the dojo is formulated in two parts. As you saw in the video, there's one part, a workshop program where many Japanese filmmakers can come in for some days to interact with each other. And the Japanese filmmakers whose projects were at the dojo in 2018, I think many of them have completed their films and they have gone on to film festivals and also theatrical success, here, opening in the cinemas in Japan and, showing in film festivals. And for Henny's film, like for example, so aside from the Japanese filmmakers, there are the Asian filmmakers. In 2018, there was Henny and her team from Indonesia. Her film has been completed and doing a lot of community screenings and local screenings for educational purposes right now. There was Nova's project from Malaysia, and he's still working on the completion of the film right now. And so, I mean, I've never had this open call for entries really up until now. So last year, I started the partnership I decided to partner with an international artist in residence or similar kind of, cinema organizer like me. Last year, I worked with Singaporean gallery art and video center called in Singapore, and we did this exchange. So I sent a Japanese filmmaker to them to Singapore to stay for 4 weeks, and they sent a Singaporean filmmaker to stay in the dojo for 4 weeks. So they are still working on their projects. I think so Chris has not finished her project. The Asian filmmakers from last year, I think they have not finished their projects yet. Yeah, they're still working on, but especially with the COVID and such, they have not necessarily completed their films yet. I think the idea is to try to focus during the dojo and then go on to further shooting or further editing afterwards. So I think one of the good things is that dojo does not, force you to complete the film within the 4 weeks that, the filmmaker is staying here. And I'm really lucky that, Chika, we are collaborating together this year.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing because some workshops, they kind of require the filmmakers involved to be at least on the same stage, if not level. So how do you deal with the variety? Like maybe some still thinking in the pre-production, like very early, and some maybe in the finishing stage. How do you provide the varieties of mentors? Or I'm curious.
I think we have had the luxury in the past to go like, how do you call it, step to cater to each filmmaker. For example, I had chosen the filmmakers and then I chose the mentors. So, for example, last year I found that I would have 5 female Asian filmmakers. Suddenly, it was just by coincidence that I ended up with 5. There were 3 teams of 5, 2 filmmakers from Taiwan, 2 filmmakers from Thailand, and 1 filmmaker from Singapore, and they're all women. And by chance, again, they were all dealing with very personal stories. They're about family or about like something to do with their lives. The documentaries were about their lives. So I decided to invite mentors for the workshop. For example, people like Avi Mogravi from Israel. He's very known to make very political, strong films, but at the same time, always films where he appears in it. I also invited, Tan Pimping from Singapore. Pimping has made experimental films, but there are some things that are very close to her heart. So I think the idea of like expanding form, I mean, private films can be a certain way, but there's not only one way of making films about the personal life or family films. And through the choice of the mentors, I was trying to create like a chemical reaction for the filmmakers to open their eyes to different ways of what they can do with their material. So for this year, I haven't decided really anything. Part of this indecision is, of course, having to do with COVID and how hard it is for decide whether we can actually do this or not. But it's also, I think I have to cater to every filmmaker and try to think. It's about matchmaking, and it's about casting. This person coming together would like. What kind of reaction that I'm kind of experimenting with people. Maybe they are my guinea pigs to say it in a really rude way, but I think this kind of care is because I'm not, dealing with 20 or 30 filmmakers. Kind of care is actually realistic and possible.
Well, that is really kind and thoughtful, Dojo, I think. And I'm now my curiosity grows. But by the way, my team will also check the YouTube because it is also live stream at minikino.org/live. If there's any question from YouTube chat, you will just let me know, right? And meanwhile, I'm gonna have like the luxury of having Asako by myself and share with the world. So back to the questions. My question will be, because it will be variety of stages where the filmmaker might be, at the beginning or halfway or almost at the end. So will you decide on the mentor or the facilitator after you get the pool of participants, or is it the other way around? Or you have not decided yet this year?
Chika, we haven't decided much yet.
I'm so
year,
sorry. No, it started. No, it started to feel like a meeting.
Yes, yeah, we've been having Friday meetings, Chika, and we have not been able to like foresee the future yet, have we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
but that is the
one thing
interesting.
one thing that is determined is that we will have, if it happens, we will have the dojo here in Hijiori village in Yamagata. And I also had loved discussing with you, Chika, what's going to happen in Bali, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of like lost in the moment here because it gets to be really personal. It's only one audience. She's the lucky volunteer that can sit in on the session. I was about to ask you your room, because you mentioned Hijiori, and maybe you want to share how's the people feeling about big city, rural, commuting, and then yet you are now here in the lovely room, which I will ask you to explain where are you and what is that on your background. Maybe one question first. You live in Tokyo, right? But now you're in Hijiori.
Right.
How do people there react to this, commuting? Are they okay? Are they a bit afraid? Are they a bit concerned? How's the situation nowadays?
Yeah, I think in Tokyo, we are becoming numb to the numbers. I mean, of people who are infected, and Actually, in Japan, the deaths have not been so high. The spiking of deaths has not been high, but there have been ups and downs, and there has been the second wave that came. However, I think in the rural areas, in Yamagata and places like here, they are really concerned that city people will bring the virus. So I'm being really very careful to keep my mask on and to try to protect. I know that I don't have the virus. Well, I don't know it, but I'm quite sure that from the lifestyle at home, I'm virtually confined in Tokyo, and I have not been out on the town. So I feel secure for myself that I'm healthy, but I have to be careful with my negotiations for when I meet the local people. Yeah. However, with the COVID, the tourism all around the country has been very, very badly affected, and Hijiori Hot Spring Spa also. They are a small community, but very, very famous in the way that they have a good name. And however, this year, this summer has been really bad. The government has, not forbidden, but has requested people, young, students who are studying in the cities, not to go home to their, families, to visit their families during the summer holiday. And so many of the older people I meet here in Hijiori, they seem to be very sad about not being able to see their grandchildren. And the mothers and fathers are also, unsatisfied with just being, online and talking like this. Let's hope that this will be the only year that this will happen, because family ties in Yamagata, in the world, is so important, and for regulations to keep us from each other is just as bad as regulations keeping international exchange or creative meetings to be halted like now.
Yeah, it's true. But I know that you and the teamwork there has really worked hard to make this happen, even to make this session happening with enough and proper information about this project. They actually did miraculous work, 10 minutes, right? Video documentation.
That's right. Yeah, thanks for reminding me that.
Yeah, world premiere
audience.
now live, right?
It is. Minikino Film Week is world premiering our documentary that I just made yesterday and today with my friends. My trip to discover Hijiori, to try to introduce Hijiori to you, the international filmmakers who might want to come here someday for the Dojo program or just for a holiday. So should we ask the technicians to roll the video?
Sure. And I'm just giving you a disclaimer that if after you watch the Hijiori video and you wanna visit Hijiori, that's not Asako's problem. That's your problem. You have to wait until the international borders are open. All right.
Because I'm not a tourist guide, and I'm not in the travel business at all. I made this video just truly from the experience that I've had here, that I really, really feel comfortable here. I feel it's a great place for creativity.
Right. So shall we roll it? Shall we do the countdown from 5? Because it's a world premiere. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So here we are in the middle of Yamagata Prefecture in the north of Japan. This is Hijiori Onsen, a hot spring resort. It lies in a volcanic caldera. It's kind of like being embraced in the heart of a volcano. And since 1200 years ago, the village is known for its legendary and miraculous healing waters. So this is where I hope the Yamagata Documentary Dojo will take place in February 2021, praying that COVID-19 dies down and Japan will open its borders to filmmakers and artists from overseas. I came yesterday to Hijiori to take a look around and also to shoot some footage. So the story is that 1200 years ago, a certain Mr. Gen-o got lost in the mountains and was saved by a Buddhist monk. The old man led him on a pilgrimage around the three sacred mountains of Dewa, and after some time told him a story. When his training for magical and spiritual powers, during his training, he fell from a high peak and broke his elbows. The story goes that he tumbled into a pool of warm, natural waters bubbling from the ground, and his wounds were instantly healed. He told Gen-o, "You must tell the world about the healing properties of this water." And then he disappeared like a phantom. Hiji means elbow, and ori means broken. So the name of this hot spring means broken elbow spa. So I filmed this is September 1st and 2nd, or 3rd, I guess. And we see the dragonflies are keeping social distancing in this time of COVID, I guess. Do they know if insects get the virus? I don't know. Dragonflies. So we met Mr. Suzuki, who makes wooden crafts like toys and dolls, and it's an old tradition here and in many these mountainous hot springs around Japan.
こうギザギザが動き出すとこう線になっていくっていうのね。カラカラ落とす。あ、します。あ、本当だ。あ、これは子供のおもちゃとして。
So this is a toy for babies, I guess. You know, in Hijiori, inside the head, they put beans, red beans. And here's the miracle water gushing out from the ground. All across this area, there are dozens of sources with different properties. Also many public baths and unique baths belonging to every one of the ryokan inns. This is part of an art project bringing the local culture and contemporary artists work together. Yamagata rice. Part of a traditional Japanese breakfast. The soft-boiled egg is called onsen eggs. It's healthy home cooking here. And every morning, from the spring to the first snow in the early winter, the grandmas from the areas around here come to sell their ware. Here we have get vegetables and also different kinds of cooked stuff. Local cucumbers, yay! Yeah, the village around here is known for its tomatoes.
ちょっとね、酸味普通のやっぱり甘々のトマトじゃなくて、本当に自然な美味しさ。雪の深い時期に。そう。
This granny told me that if I come in the winter, I can take part in a snow digging contest. And I'm sure the filmmakers who stay here for the residency will have fun with the snow too. This area is known for like 4 or 5 meters of deep snow. The villagers who operate the 19 ryokan inns and shops are all descendants of the 26 founding families since the 17th century. And this kind of a nice cozy community in itself. It's like the whole village is one family or one household. And we visitors get to become a part of this community. Yeah, so you get the idea. This is a safe place of healing, of slowing down, of taking a deep breath, and rediscovering what was at the source of your creative process.
Yama.
光。恵み。
なんと。力。
源。
This is something stupid I did at the end of my trip. It's kind of embarrassing. Sorry about that. And here, this is what you will discover if you come here in February. A totally different world. Lots and lots of snow. This is the snow digging contest that the granny was talking about. It's a contest to try to find spring, try to hit the soil, the raw soil at the bottom of the snow. Okay, so I'll be happy to welcome you in Hijiori.
See, I told you, if you don't want to go anywhere in 2021, you should not watch that film, that video. Is this your first time being like the guide of a sort of like travel video? You look professional.
Definitely, of course. Yeah, I mean, we finished this video, I think about 3 hours ago. And then, Chika, you made Bahasa Indonesian subtitles.
Yeah, the theme
for
is
this
amazing.
presentation. Amazing.
Okay, so Rick, do we have like a YouTube questions? Should we take YouTube questions? Not yet? All right, So I think this is important question from people that might be interested in joining or applying for this program, Asako. What will we be looking for? Like what we'll be looking for in the terms of what kind of filmmakers or what kind of project? Should it be feature documentary? Should it be short? Or, you know, what's the qualification?
Mm, right. I'm Chico, we haven't really followed up on the details,
Oh
have
yeah.
we? But but in generally speaking, I would be looking for a Southeast Asian filmmaker who has a documentary project. It can be feature or short, and who thinks that spending time away from the subject matter or from that culture and can and in sort of not away from language or away from the ordinary like speed of life. Whoever thinks that this dojo can be a benefit of their project, I would like to welcome them to apply. At the moment, we have a budget for the filmmaker for this open call with Minikino Exchange. We will be covering all the domestic transportation in Japan and also the 4 weeks stay, 30 days in Japan, including a trip to Tokyo at the end of the stay. We are covering, I think, we have a per diem, a small per diem for meals. And you have me. I will be hanging around all the time to help you as your cultural ambassador and also language support, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. What do you think, Chika?
Yeah. See, this kind of conversation without people asking is very dangerous because I feel like this is our working meeting. But we have agreed that Minikino on this side of the world in Bali will be very happy to host one Japanese audiovisual artist to actually come to Bali for 4 weeks. Same. But the different thing is it's not gonna be she not gonna be staying in one place. It's gonna be actually several, like traveling residency, I must say. Of course, in Denpasar, it will be hosted actually in this very same building. There will be an art house cinema, and it will be like right in the middle of the urban, like Bali, real people, not postcard living style. And then second week and the third week, we're gonna take the artists to go up north. Bali is quite a big island. Like to go from the north to the south, it will take like 4 hours. But then from west east, it will take, well, you cannot like cut through the mountains, so you have to make like detour. That will be like another 4 to 5 hours. So for the second and the third week, we would like to get the artists to experience a different side of Bali. The scenery will still look like postcards because it's beautiful, but then there will be like real village people that are living similar like Hijiori. They live in a very natural environment. In the north called Pedawa village, and then west we're gonna take them to Jembrana. So we actually prepare something as well for you. This will also be the world premiere. We
Yes,
want to
I
like
can't wait
show
to see it.
you and the future applicants for this open call that is still gonna be secret when we are going to announce, but we would like to give you like a teaser on what you will see and who you will meet in one of the traveling residency spot. So I think with this, let's watch video from Pedawa village.
Oke, nama saya Wayan Sadiana. Saya anggota masyarakat Desa Pedawa. Ya. Saya salah satu yang tergabung dalam kelompok Ayoman Pedawa. Jadi kelompok ini bergerak di berbagai banyak hal, bidang lingkungan utamanya, kemudian kebudayaan, kemudian ada juga tentang perfilman tentunya. Ya. Nah, kemarin saya mendengar itu ada kedatangan kelompok seniman Jepang atau komunitas film Jepang itu yang akan berkunjung ke Pedawa, yaitu dari katanya beliau adalah ahli-ahli audiovisual itu. Dan saya kira kalau hal ini bisa terjadi itu menarik sekali bagi saya, karena kepentingan kita itu banyak. Kalau kita bisa berkolaborasi dengan beliau-beliau yang ahli-ahli dalam bidang audiovisual ya. Pertama adalah kita bisa menimba pengalaman, ya, bisa menimba ilmu dan pengalaman dari keterampilan dan keahlian beliau. Ya. Pengalaman dan ilmu, keterampilan yang beliau akan tularkan itu bermanfaat bagi desa kami ini sebenarnya untuk menyupport desa Pedawa ini sebagai desa wisata. Ya, desa wisata ini tentu membutuhkan platform dalam bidang pemasarannya, platform dalam bidang promosinya, yang mau tidak mau harus melibatkan audiovisual. Sehingga kalau bisa berkolaborasi dengan orang-orang yang memiliki kompetensi dalam bidang audiovisual seperti ini, tentu akan sangat bagus bagi kami. Yang kedua, ya, pengetahuan tentang audiovisual itu menarik jika dikaitkan dengan konteks untuk semacam pencatatan atau perekaman atau inventarisasi ya budaya lokal kami. Ya, sehingga selama ini banyak orang menggunakan gadget, banyak orang menggunakan smartphone ya bisa, tetapi bagaimana memahami struktur dari sebuah audiovisual itu yang penting sebenarnya untuk dikembangkan sekarang ini. Ya, sehingga dari pengetahuan tentang struktur audiovisual itu akan menyebabkan kemasan menjadi menarik, kemudian pemaknaan menjadi lebih, dan ini tentu sebuah daya tarik bagi sebuah promosi, saya kira itu. Dan kepentingan ketiga berikutnya adalah kolaborasi internasional. Ya, kolaborasi internasional ini luar biasa penting untuk digalakkan di dunia sekarang. Ya, pertemuan orang dengan orang itu akan mengakibatkan dampak yang besar ya. Ketika hati dan hati bertaut, ya, ini kolektivitas kita sebagai manusia tetap terjaga, ya, dan kemudian kepentingan dari keterjagaan rasa kolektif ini itu adalah rasa persaudaraan dan humanisme kita di tengah serba mesin, di tengah serba digital sekarang ini, yang seolah kita hanya berhadapan dengan manusia dan mesin, manusia dan digital. Tapi di tengah hal dunia semacam ini, kita bisa menciptakan sebuah suasana persahabatan, ya, pertemuan dengan orang-orang, kolaborasi. Ini adalah salah satu kompetensi penting saya kira untuk dibangun di abad 21 ini gitu. Jadi oleh karena itu ya, kalau memang kerjasama ini bisa terselenggara, tentu akan sangat luar biasa ya pengaruhnya bagi kami di Pedawa ini.
Indonesia.
Itu yang kalau lewat Banyuatis nih, di sana itu desanya Banyuatis. Desa Banyuati, Goblek, Munduk. Tadi lewatnya dari sana. Danau Tamlingan. Ya. Lewatnya. Ini namanya Ranggon. Ranggon ini namanya Bandung Sri Dandan.
Udah ulet ya.
Udah deh.
Ya, enggak apa-apa, kasihan deh. Ntar aja sih. Ini aman nih.
Aman.
Lu pikir kita sampai di sini gimana caranya? Saya minta buahnya, Pak. Membusuk lah di situ. Aku suka banget minta biji-biji gini terus nanti aku tanam. Iya, gigi.
Kita dari Kayoman Pedawa mau mengadakan nonton film. Acaranya nanti tanggal 5 September 2020. Jangan lupa datang dan saksikan tempatnya di rumah adat Pedawa.
Rangki Pedawa. Datang ya.
Jangan lupa juga satu hal yang pasti, COVID adalah musuh kita bersama. Tetap jaga dengan 3M, menjaga jarak, terus pakai masker, dan mencuci tangan dengan sabun di air yang mengalir. Kita sehat, Indonesia sehat. Terima kasih.
Assalamualaikum.
Minikino, Film Week 6, hebat.
Minikino Film Week 6, kelompok Ayuman Pedawa, merdeka.
Mantap sendiri.
Agak jauhkan dikit ya, biasanya terganggu karena ada cewek.
Ojo jujur.
Iya,
sampean itu jujur.
Jujur. Biasanya kayak coba lagi.
1, 2, 3.
Minikino Film Week 6, kelompok Ayuman Pedawa, hebat. Udah. Lah itu baru bener. Itu loh jujur.
Yeah. So when I saw the video, I cannot join them. They really had fun. And also seeing you obviously had fun.
Yes.
For me personally, the most thing that hurt for me during this situation is not being able to have that laugh, like be together in the festival even. We usually go have the hospitality, pick up so many people coming from all around Indonesia and also international guests, and we talk, we share stories, we laugh, we drink together, we go have coffee together. So that is really, really missing. And I believe that you with the dojo are actually creating a really good fellowship that is very conducive to help people focusing on the future of their work. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that to provide spaces like this or inviting filmmakers to your film festival, it's affirming what they do. It's like saying, you guys are doing a great job. You should, be confident in your own voice and, go for it. And I think it can do wonders to some filmmakers, especially independent filmmakers who might feel like, their film won't make enough money or it's not reaching hundreds of thousands of people. But if there certainly connoisseurs, there are people who really love independent film and, formats like short film or, documentary that are not these Hollywood, major blockbusters. And sometimes the filmmakers need to be reassured or reminded that there is an audience and there are people who are very supportive and believe in what they're trying to do.
Yeah, and I believe we actually had some comments or questions on the YouTube chat box. But before we go there, I want to ask you, I'm curious since the very beginning, where are you? Like what room? And I see some kimono and you are wearing one. Would you like, give us a bit information about that cool outfit?
Yes. So in Hijiori, there are 19, ryokan inns, this kind of Japanese style, hotels where you sleep on the floor, on the mat, on the futon. And they have the, public baths with really natural water, hot water coming from the ground. I mean, anyway, so this Japanese style of living is, there are 19 of these inns, and I'm in one of them, which has this is kind of a living room. It's not the room that I'm sleeping in, but this is kind of right next to the lobby, the entrance where I think the owner has put up some kind of old-fashioned, tools of the snow, living in the snow, these like boots that are made from grass fibers and things like that. And this one here is that you can't really see it, but there's a fireplace where you boil water and used to cook the old days. Yeah. So this sense of tradition and the old kind of living is here. You saw the food that they're serving. It's quite simple food, vegetable based, not a lot of meat, some chicken maybe, but mostly fish and vegetables, and very good healthy cooking, I would believe. Yeah, is here.
That's really nice.
What was your question?
Oh,
I forgot.
the question actually from the YouTube
yukata.
chat.
Yeah, the yukata.
Let's see. Oh, just like a comment from Narendra, mantap, mantap in Indonesian is like really good. Oh, but with this, really good. And then Dimas Iron, oh, success and hopefully you have a good, smooth event. And then Mr. Miko, Hijiori is my hometown with a smiley face.
Wow, really?
People
That's
in
great.
Hijiori are very open-minded, and we are all looking forward to receiving filmmakers to our village. Finger crossed.
That's
So actually,
really
it's
great.
not a question, but a supportive, positive comments.
Yeah, good. Well, you saw how, I was walking in the streets with this, yukata on. And so the people who are here for, long term, or they come here to relax and take a bath, and sometimes they take a bath like 3 or 4 times a day. So after their bath, they put on like a cotton yukata like this, which is provided by the inn. And you you stroll the streets because there's a beautiful wind coming through, through this valley all the time. And so you're a little bit hot from the hot bath, but then you feel the cool wind and you take a deep breath. And in my case, I go and have a beer. Yeah, but not everybody. But it's old fashioned, but it's very, comfortable. And then you feel like you're at home. So, and like everybody is wearing the same kind of kimono. This doesn't work in the winter. It's much too cold for this, but this is perfect for this time of year. Yeah.
All right. So, what is your hope? I mean, now it gets a bit not somber, but like we are actually facing quite uncertainty time. Even like Minikino, we are really not sure at the beginning. Are we able to do this festival in a physical, like showing short films on big screen? Because we think it is very important to still keep screening all these great shorts in big screen, even though the people that can attend the the screenings are really cut in half. Basically, because we don't screen in the commercial cinema, the capacity itself already small, but now you cut half the small numbers, but still we do it anyway, and we do it actually with a very, very strict protocol. Like we have to do registration, very strict, and then you have to wear your mask or face shields or both, and like the people at Pedawa was saying, don't forget to wash your hands, right? So looks like, is this our future? If this can end, should be, we hope, but February 2021 is, like 4 months away. What is your hope, at least, Asako?
So I will make a decision at the end of October whether this dojo can happen or not. I think we have to look at the governmental regulations and the situation of opening borders at that time. And I have set up plan A, plan B, plan C for depending on the situation. in the way that you know, Minikino Film Week decided to open up your festival to, you know, not just the physical, but also online. You decided to go double, which means that you can reach a local audience and also like a wide audience around the world. I mean, in the past, I think we could not have done this talk to reach somebody whose hometown is, you know, Hijiori, right? So you have taken this advantage of the crisis and like opened up new possibilities for your film festival. And, you know, hopefully I think Dojo can also be the same. I was a little bit skeptical of, you know, any kind of online interaction in February when we started talking about this, you know, Chika, and when the COVID started. But nowadays I'm thinking that, well, of course, the basis is, you know, that we have to be, you know, in the same area, in the same village, I guess, or else this, and it has to be international exchange, or else the funding won't come through for this, the public funding that I have, you know, captured for this project. But I think we can also try to experiment with internet and remote and online interaction possibilities, especially with the mentors. It's not the ideal way. I found that for, you know, the mentors and the filmmakers to be together and they take a bath together in the public hall and eat together, this really, you know, strengthens their, you know, like friendship and, you know, trust for each other. Many of our filmmakers in later have started to collaboration with the mentors, or, you know, started work with a music composer, or work with an editor that they met during Dojo, and they have been quite happy, you know, collaboration. Somebody, one of the mentors met, it was a broadcaster who took part, and so forth. So these meetings have been, you know, productive, or like, you know, bore fruit in the past. And so, you know, that's like the most ideal thing for everybody to be together in, you know, in this village of Hijiori. But if the borders don't open, I can still try to do something with online mentorship and interaction. I don't know. By February, I'm sure people like you, Chika, and, you know, all these film organizers have thought of great ways of interacting better using, you know, the network that we had never really had to use as extensively as now.
Yeah, so Asako actually is the one that come up with this title of the talks, Breathing the Same Air. So air also goes for artists in residence, but also air. And I think, yeah, we are sad, but like you say, we are trying to, you know, be flexible and survive and thrive during this challenging situation. And that's basically what we wish as well here. And this is now the third day of Minikino Film Week. You are, yay, and you are also preparing your next edition of for Yamagata will be 2021, right?
Yes, the film festival is happening in October 2021.
Yeah, so I really hope that October 2021, everyone can go and have hot spring session together there. And because we have not really received any more questions at the YouTube chat box, but you know how to reach us. You can reach us at the basically Minikino email, or reaching out to Yamagata documentary. There's the website as well, but you can just go to the Minikino Film Week website, and then you can see all the details of the organization, and do reach out to us. I find that during this situation in 2020, people do reply to their emails faster and really do not mind to open up for online meetings and very punctual about it.
It's great. No, it has changed. I don't know. This disastrous pandemic has changed something. Started help us think, of our priorities, and also about communication.
Yeah. So I think it will be interesting, and I say we because we are very proud and honored to have this collaboration. We will be looking forward to see a lot of applicants, we hope, and we hope that we really can host you both in these two countries. Yeah, I think that will be my last remarks, but for sure, Asako, do you want to add something before we end this session?
No, I just totally repeat what you said, and I really think it's an amazing feat that Minikino Film Week has launched itself so strongly now, and using this technology that you can reach so many people around the world. And I hope that our dojo and our exchange residency program goes well. Let's do it, Chika.
Yay! Well, what do you say in Japanese? Gambate?
Gambate. Gambate
You
is
say
for the other
gambate.
person. So how do you say it in Indonesian?
In Indonesia we call semangat.
Huh?
Semangat kan? Semangat. Yeah,
Semangat?
semangat.
Semangat.
Yeah, semangat.
Yeah, let's go. Semangat.
Yeah, and thank you very much, sign language interpreters. On your screen is Ranum, but before half an hour, if you notice, his face is different. That's Tia. So thank you very much. This is the
Thank
lucky
you for
volunteers,
that
Ica. And actually not seen on the screen, there's Surya and Rick as well. And also the subtitler, the magic team. Ines was doing the subtitle for your 10 minutes
Wow.
Hijiori, and I did
Wow.
the documentary Dojo.
Yeah, you
So,
did it
we
great.
thank
Yeah, I
you.
want to also thank my, my camera, the smartphone operator, my friend Inoue Yoko, and also Tanaka Kenta, who did the editing overnight.
Yeah, well,
Thanks,
basically, thank
Chika.
you. Yeah, we cannot really say each one names here, but without you all, we cannot do this. And yeah,
Exactly.
stay healthy until we meet again. With this, I will say bye and see you later. We will have more talks and forum. Do online and yeah, be together even though you're not here with us. Bye bye.
In spirit. Bye bye.